The battle lines are drawn. The EU referendum campaign gets officially underway.
I find it difficult to contemplate it happening here, but nothing's impossible.
Good evening and welcome to Wembley and the great debate.
I believe that this Thursday can be our country's Independence Day.
The British people have spoken and the answer is we're out.
Just over half an hour ago, the Prime Minister, David Cameron, stepped out of number 10 and said he would resign.
It's not so much that this result has turned politics upside down, but it's shattered its established conventions.
We're live in Birstall, where this afternoon, just a few yards from where I'm standing, the town's local MP was shot and killed.
I could just see a leg sticking out, looked like a gun in his hand, and then proceeded to shoot it again on the floor. She was crawling.
This is Clark Rothwell, an eyewitness, and this is his only TV interview.
BBC News. Let's get the latest on the situation in Aleppo. NewsHour's Owen Bennett-Jones is there.
The rebels are said to hold civilians back, and so that means they become effectively human shields.
You can still smell the explosives in this area recaptured yesterday.
ظلام كامل مصدر قلق أكثر إنه كانت معي زوجتي وبنتي كان عمرها.
لتجنيبها ويلات جديدة. عساف عبود BBC من مدينة حلب شمال سوريا.
The Middle East is in a period of profound historical change. It's the result of a century of misrule, disastrous foreign intervention, stagnation and repression.
طبعاً اللي فيه بقلبه رحمة للناس بيكون فيه رحمة بقلبه لكل مخلوق حي.
Brussels has turned into a city of sirens and a centre of fear.
France was just beginning to feel safe again after the attacks here last year. Safe enough even to come out and celebrate being French.
And this is the moment Iraqi troops finally entered Mosul.
Right inside Mosul city centre.
Then this happens.
But the operation seems to be reaching a tipping point.
The French authorities have had enough of migrants trying to get on lorries bound for Britain, but some do not want to leave Calais.
Wales arrived at this tournament without the weight of expectation and pressure that seems to be so heavy on other teams.
And despite that defeat to France, well, many people here in Iceland will tell you that this was a victory.
At the iconic Copacabana beach in Rio, host city to the 31st Olympic Games.
Can you spot it? The Maracanã Stadium, also the home of the opening ceremony of the Olympics for Rio 2016.
Soon it was carnival time, 1,500 dancers filling the stage, the audience joining them as the party got into full swing.
There is ability in disability. Despite my disability, I will do what even the able-bodies cannot do.
You never thought in your entire life?
Never thought I'd ever see anything like this. It's amazing, absolutely brilliant.
I'm disappointed that so much hateful rhetoric would be rewarded with a presidency.
شکاف دستمزد بین زنان و مردان در
This 100 Women Mexico Live is about to come to a close. It's been such a fantastic day.
Welcome to Liverpool, a city which finally tonight has justice for the 96.
One of the things I can never accept is the waste.
This year they feared for the worst for jobs here. Tata says it'll guarantee both blast furnaces remain for at least 5 years.
When the doors closed on BHS, the shops went and its pension schemes were left with an enormous black hole.
We will sort it, we will find a solution.
Ireland have just beaten the best team in the world, the All Blacks. Now Ireland are hoping to host the sport's biggest tournament, the Rugby World Cup.
I don't know how to begin. Never in my life have I ever seen anything like this.
A generation wiped out, an unimaginable loss of life that changed this village forever.
We could hear like a noise, like thunder, like a jet aeroplane.
Nicola Sturgeon will be back here in this seat as First Minister, but she won't have an overall majority.
We can hear Saudi coalition airplanes flying overhead. Everyone in the House is really nervous.
Allegations of war crimes.
which make Yemen a human rights crisis for Britain.
A lot of Yemeni Twitter users on the ground have established themselves as being really reliable news sources.
Thousands of South Africans have turned out on the streets. They are calling for President Zuma to step down. They are calling for him to fall.
With moves gathering pace to impeach President Rousseff to drive her from office.
A gente acompanhou toda a descida da presidente Dilma.
And we hope, a new Brazil.
How do you think your sister will cope reintegrating into society?
Cette jeune fille rencontre le président alors qu'elle sort de 2 ans de captivité.
There is a full-blown conflict happening in front of our eyes between the state's military and the state's police forces.
It's 2 weeks since a coup that united Turks against it. The aftermath has shaken every part of society. It could take a generation to recover.
He's going to make America great again.
The moment is upon us. Welcome to this BBC News special from Washington, bringing you the story of Election Day in the United States.
Good evening. Welcome to Times Square, our home for history in the making.
I'll show you the map on the floor, which is where we think we are so far in the election.
I started the night saying America is changing. I still believe America is changing. We've seen this result now.
Donald Trump had successfully targeted the white working class.
And these people can't quite believe what has happened.
This is the people rising up and saying, we've had enough of that rotten government in Washington.
This is Brexit in America.